Okay, as I recall, well, they were questioning that day. Long story short, the power went out. They went to the office. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. He had one of the pieces in his safe.
What if that thing with Emma's handprint on it is actually a piece of Gant's thing? Maybe it's like a piece of Gant's blazer or something?
No.
Oh, it says it's a piece of cloth.
It's a piece of cloth. But... well, hang on. What about the jar?
I don't know.
As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. But that's not the case because he had a piece of the jar in his safe.
Oh, I suppose.
Because all the other pieces were there and put into the safe in the whatever room. But one piece was missing and that was found in Gant's safe.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You claim to have nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up.
Explain yourself?
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar for example. That's the blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this?
Ho. He's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery.
You mean? Or do you mean you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene.
My. Kids these days don't even know how to put two and two together.
Witness testimony, evidence, and forgery.
Let's see. What was it now? A jar fragment and a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. And the reason I participate in the forgery? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way.
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand that I am the chief of police, right, and there will be consequences.
Oh.
Indeed, I believe I will press charges so you won't make the same mistake again.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know.
Alright, Aji. In return, though...
I know. That place, right? Huh? What are these guys, telepathic? Okay, hang on. I appreciate if you stop making these ridiculous allegations.
Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that.
What? I'll have you know, back in my day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped Mr. Wright. What are you saying?
Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have any proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later, what are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Righto's prints were found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal.
Grr. I never faced anyone as slimy as this guy.
Anyway, you can't prove
that-
when...
You already read that.
Yeah,
What do you mean by that?
this is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery.
If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery,
I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered.
are you saying that this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation?
It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Drake was sentenced.
Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient?
Right? The chief is talking about a possibility, as long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they might be, will only succeed in wasting time.
Tell me something I don't know.
Come on, Righto. Think about it.
How can you look me in the eye and say that?
Because I'm innocent. Remember, who was it that murdered Neil?
I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye.
Well, now do you see?
Really, Chief Gant. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you reap from all this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit?
That would be, of course, the position you have, Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is a significant, sufficient position move.
Ho, ho, ho. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, oh, oh. Like the robot sent us.
Yeah.
Anyway. Huh?
Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of the SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little.
Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway.
Ah.
Careful when pointing the finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motive for you to commit forgery. You didn't do it for yourself, and you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Archie, would you mind if I change my testimony a little?
By all means, please do.
I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there wasn't nothing in it for me.
nothing in it for you.
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you better think again. You're right, you don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people, that's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Yeah, he would have. He would have helped Lana because that gave him an in for the prosecution's office. Because she would have been promoted to chief prosecutor. And if he had...
No, I don't think that's where this is going, somehow.
Well...
Because if he killed Goodman, obviously, his accomplice must have been Goodman for some reason, right? If he's killed him to hide up whatever they did, right?
Yeah, but again, Lana admitted to forging evidence.
Yeah.
So it's also very likely within that 2-year gap when she was chief prosecutor, she must have forged evidence for other stuff to get actual convictions against cases where that, especially on murderers or anything like that, where they couldn't solve it with proper evidence.
Yeah.
Sure, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it benefited you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I meant. Very well then. Who is the person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? It has to be Lana Scott because she's chief prosecutor.
Okay.
And plus, even then, Miles was given
Yeah, well,
evidence, and he didn't know it was forged.
yeah.
And that's how they convicted Joe Dark. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in the light of circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events, which also starred Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes.
Who would have want to help her more than her own sister Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would have also had a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecution's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all this?
He'd be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Unchecked.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh wait, you mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive is to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her.
Right, my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana?
Indeed I do. He pulls out a remote control. This is remote control of her labeled with Alana on it.
For example, is Lana testifying I've done such a thing?
Lana, she's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'll testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Oh, yes. That is also what happened in this incident.
This incident? Which one will that be?
Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Just what do you mean? What he means, that's me. What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? What? Oh, order. I said order. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. I am serious. Oh wait, no. I can't say that one because he didn't say surely you can't be serious. Huh? This is a affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder, that is impossible. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating, thank you, what Edgeworth said in easy to understand language. Or was I right? You fell in my trap.
It's too late, Mr. Wright.
Oh fuck, we fell in another one of his traps. God damn it, Pegasus.
There's no turning back for us now.
It looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. I'll get back to you with that.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us the evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Which one was it?
Oh, the ID card.
Yeah. Because this is a high-ranking member.
Hey.
We can't get his ID until we actually have something, and it was on his safe, so...
Yeah.
This is the ID card list. Yes. The one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. Septa 7.
Sorry, but there's no way that you can prove that's my card number.
It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits. You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was Septa 7. The same as the remaining ID number on that list. Chief Gant. Ooh.
Jesus!
Now he has a superior... Oh, that's the superior motherfucker pose right there. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the murder of the crime. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say?
Nothing. Oh shit.
Oh, it's like I'm going to use the force to crush this fucker's skull.
French search of office was in violation of regulations. I would demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law.
Wait, what?
Right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime.
What about it? I'm chief of police, whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me. When you entered the room, were you alone?
Oh, sorry, go.
No, you can read him now, go on. I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Detective Goodman
Go
wouldn't...
to the bathroom in the evidence room?
He's the chief of police, he can do whatever he wants. Detective Goodman wouldn't happen to be with you that day, would he?
Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days.
You haven't seen him in days. Chief Gant, I'm afraid you just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have to meet with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Grant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm gonna have to ask you for evidence. Like always, show us proof that the victim went to meet with Chief Gant on the day of the crime.